guys, finally after 20 hours bus journey with greyhounds, I made it to Lordsburg. Well, there is a bit more to the start, so let me just recap on what happened in the last, I don't know, was it 48 something hours. So I left Bulgaria. There was a 3-hour flight from there to UK. That was pretty fast and easy, but then from there I had to catch another flight from London to Denver, Colorado. So that was a longer one, but again, comfortable. Couple of things. I guess that's what international thru hikers go through. A couple of flights, some bus journeys, and all that. But yeah, I'm finally in Lordsburg, so I just need to figure out where's Econo Lodge. That's the place I'm gonna stay tonight, and tomorrow morning I'll get picked up by the CDT coalition and take us to the start, which is another 3 hours with a shuttle they got arranged for us. It's 120 bucks, but I heard it's all worth it, and I guess that's what I went for as well, rather than trying to organize a friend of mine or a friend of theirs to take me across to the starting monument, which is right on the border. Well, I guess that's all from me at the moment after that almost 20 plus hours journey with greyhound from Denver to Lordsburg. And it's time to rest. I'll see you tomorrow morning for a great start, and 3,100 miles from Mexico to Canada on the CDT. Woo! Yo guys, it's Moonshine Pete. I'm about to start my through hike of the Continental Divide Trail. It's gonna be my third hike of the Triple Crown Trails, and well, this year I decided to do a vlog. It's a new thing for me. I don't know how this will turn out. You'll just have to see it and tell us what you think about it. In the past couple of years, I've hiked the two other trails, the Pacific Crest Trail in 2017 and the Appalachian Trail last year, 2018. You know, there's the saying of you either do just one or you go ahead for the two. I'm originally from Bulgaria. I used to live in UK for several years, and in 2017 I got the hike, and I've decided to hike those trails. And well, it turns out pretty well. I'm on the way to the Triple Crown, and behind me you can see all of the gear I've prepped for this year. Some of it is sponsored, some of it is my personal, my own one, and I'll take you through it right away. I'll start with the first bit of gear, the sleeping bag. It's your king, it's your warmest thing, it's the thing that's gonna save your life. So I've gone with James. If you're watching this video, these shoes are totally clean, so don't worry about bed. I'm staying at some friends of mine in UK, and I actually used to live here before. Okay, so sleeping bag. I've gone with a 20-degree sleeping bag, down, no face. I guess I'm gonna take that throughout the whole of the hike. I expect a few cold nights in the desert in New Mexico, but if it's too warm, I'm just gonna keep it off me, or I'm just gonna kind of like lay it on top of me to have a bit of warmth but not overheat too much. I've gone with a 48-liter Osprey Kestrel. I've had that on the Appalachian Trail last year. It did a great job. Sadly, it had some damage on the hip belt that I cannot repair myself. So I got in touch with Osprey, and they said that they're gonna send me a brand new backpack in Denver, Colorado, where I'm stopping before my hike. So I'll get a brand new backpack, and I'll give them my old one so they can have a look at it and get some feedback on how the damage occurred, etc. I got this backpack from my sponsorship last year from a local outdoor shop back home in Bulgaria. It's called Basecamp. So this year they've helped me a lot with a few more items, which includes 2 pairs of Scarpa shoes. These are the model Air Crux. I chose them because there is a lot of breathability to them, so they air out pretty quick. So if my feet get wet, I expect them to dry out pretty quick. Last year I got a pair of nitrogen nitro Gore-Tex Scarpa shoes on the Appalachian Trail, and I made a big mistake with them because the Gore-Tex held up a lot of water. So that's why if I know there's going to be some water, I get shoes without any waterproofing. So I just get used with the thought that my feet will get wet anyway, but at least they're going to dry out pretty quick as well. Up here you can see that there is kind of like a mesh webbing that brings a lot of air into the shoes, and the best thing that I liked about them, that drew me to them, it's the board on the front. So any rocks, roots, and anything that I might kick by mistake will get a pretty good hit, and this board will protect the shoe from ripping, and also the bending or the cold working of the corners here by the pinky toes will be minor or very small over the long run. Moving forward, 2 sets of Under Armour boxer shorts. I actually had those for, I think that's I bought them for the PCT in 2017, and they held up pretty well. They're pretty good. I've had them sewn a couple of times, but just a very minor stuff. Apart from that, they get the moisture out pretty quick, and obviously it keeps my bottom pretty dry. No shaving, and if I do get some in very high humidity areas and excessive sweating, yeah, we'll just deal with it. For the New Mexico part, so that's all the summer gear here. I've got a pair of shorts, 100% nylon, so pretty quick in drying, and they don't hold up any nasty smells. Moving forward, I got that's my jacket. It's synthetic, so it's a climate shield filling, no down. I decided to try something different this year. The last couple of years I had a down jacket that held up pretty well, but that was customly designed for me by Pathfinder. It's another Bulgarian company that does outdoor clothing, and the design is pretty good. I'll be giving you some more feedback on it as I get hiking, but so far so good. I've been sweating buckets in it with just a t-shirt. It's 32 Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So follow up. I'll give you some more information on this one soon enough. Sleeping system, as well as the sleeping bag. I got a CDT Summit sleeping mat. It's the ultralight version, regular. I guess that's the smallest I've ever had. You can see how big it is. Pretty much the size of my shoe. It's quite impressive. I never had that much of a that small sleeping mat in my life. And it's pretty comfy though. I've tested it out already a couple of times. Moving forward, my protective layer from the wet elements, it's the Alpine rain jacket as well as windshield. It held up pretty well on the Appalachian Trail, even though with all the downpours. If it's a torrential downpour, you can't really do much about it, but with a decent amount of rain, it keeps me dry. Just keep in mind when you start going up, excessive exercise will of course fill up some sweat in it. Okay, Moving forward, here's my tent. That's the Zephyros one. It's a Terra Nova tent. I only have the tent and the poles at the moment because my main tent pole broke in 2 places last year on the Appalachian Trail. So the company was very kind to send me a replacement in Lordsburg before I hit the trail. So fingers crossed, FedEx will make it there on time and I'll be able to pick it up. Either way, I might have to hold up without a tent for the first bit of time. For socks, I've got 3 pairs of Try to Fly socks. They're a Bulgarian brand that I've developed together with a company called Peering Hill last year. So they made them for me for the Appalachian Trail, and I've hiked the whole trail in 2 pairs. None of them ripped, and every time I washed them they felt like almost like brand new. Not entirely brand new, but just about. I can say they're as good as the some of the American versions of hiking socks, but pretty happy with it. And I also have a liner that I'll be wearing with them. I never used those before, so it's going to be a first, but I'll see how it goes. I was pretty happy with just the socks last year, but always open for new stuff and giving it a try. Sleeping clothes, Thermoles, bottom and top, just like a knockoff brand that I had from the past, but they've done a good job on the PCT and the AT, so I'm going back again with them. There's that's my hiking shirt. It's a Crack Hoppers polyester and cotton shirt. I've had them before, pretty happy with it, and it's also mosquito repellent. That's pretty impressive. I've had one like that before, and yeah, the mosquitoes land and they can't go through the fabric, which is spot on. So it's not chemically treated, it's just how dense the threads have been put together. We go into the minor bits and bobs. I just forgot to say that about the shoes. I have a second pair from the Air Crux, so if these guys don't hold up throughout the whole dry stretch, I have a second pair just in case. But last year I hiked the AT with just a single pair of shoes, so that was 2200 miles. So I hope these guys will hold up pretty much the same amount of distance. Because for the winter section I have a pair of winter shoes that I'm going to show you very shortly. I'm going to move along this side so you can actually see that whole area of winter gear that will be shipped ahead for the Colorado section. But before we get there, I have some gadgets here. So I decided to buy a solar panel and give it a try, see how it goes. I haven't tested it out, but I have a power bank to save my bum in case this doesn't work. I'm only using a cell phone with me, so that's how I'm going to film the vlog, and that's what I'm filming with at the moment. I can't show you the tripod, but it's a good Huawei. That's the brand that I'm using. It's the phone and the tripod. So I have one lead for it, one lead for the power bank. I've got a Garmin Fenix 3, so I'm going to be tracking all of my hikes on a daily basis and upload them in Strava. It's a sports tracking app. Headphones. I have the charger for the sports watch. A couple of plugs, power plugs, and I guess that's all of my gadgets. Pretty much lighter than the last years, so I'm not carrying any GoPros or any other cameras, so it's just the phone. It has really good quality, so I'm very happy with it. I've tested it out on night shots. It has very good stabilization of the video recording, apart from the time when I touch the shelves, and then you can see some shaking. So my toiletry stuff, it's all in here. It's the usual toilet paper, hand sanitizer, toothpaste, sunscreen, and I have some foot cream as well. But that's the very general basic. I also have my luxury items. Being a bearded guy, I have to look after my beard, so I got a sponsorship from a very good company back home. It's called Brada Brat. They do boutique beer oils, so that's what I got from them. It's the Beer Balm Exalt. It's a very citrusy smell, so I think it's gonna do a very good job looking after my beard, and a really nice sandal tree beard comb that I'm gonna be using for my beard too. The usual toothbrush. I got a Sharpie for the hitchhiking signs. A little first aid kit, so I'm not going into details with that, but just the necessities, nothing excessive. Headlamp, towel, couple of bandanas, pair of glasses. And for the New Mexico section, I've got a good platypus gravity filter that I found last year in a hiker box on the Appalachian Trail. Very pleased with it, so I'm going to be using it throughout that section, and once I get up into the high elevation where there is no cows, I'm going to move on to no filtration. However, I recommend to everybody filtrate. I know my body, I know that it held up pretty well, so I'm not filtering as much, but if you don't trust the water source, always filter. Cooking system, jet boil. I got it on the PCT from a hiker box once again. It did a pretty good job. I'm happy with it. I've done stoveless. It's not my thing, so I like my warm meals in the evenings, and especially when the desert gets pretty cold at night. Then Colorado, Wyoming, a good warm meal in the evening, it does some miracles. So stay tuned. Moving forward, I got my Bulgarian flag, so I'm gonna be waving that along the trail, start, finish, halfway, midpoints, change of states. That's gonna be there, giving me some good motivation and making my country proud. That's another thing that I have forgotten to mention. It's nobody else from my country has ever done those hikes, so supposedly I'm the first Bulgarian to hike all three of them, or well, attempt the CDT at least this year, see how that goes. But definitely for the PCT and the AT. Moving forward to the winter gear, I'm just going to turn the camera around a little bit so you can see it all. We're starting with the shoes, so that's again Scarpa sponsorship from Basecamp Shop, so thank you guys, that's some great shoes. I've tested them already with about 3 winter hikes in Bulgaria, and the conditions there can be very challenging and close to what I expect in Colorado, if not worse. So they're proper winter shoes. They're Charmoz. I'm not entirely sure how people know it or what exactly it's pronounced like. But that's gonna be my winter shoe for the Colorado section or anywhere that I have very deep snow cover and well, very cold weather. Moving forward, I have an ice axe. It's a black diamond, 60 centimeters. I don't know what's that in inches, but I'll leave that for you guys. A pair of winter gaiters. That's going to be definitely a must for the Colorado section. Hat, merino wool hat. That will keep me warm as well. These are my crampons, so I'm definitely taking a pair of crampons for my hike in the Colorado. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna take snowshoes because I don't know how hard the snow pack will be. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and make a decision as I get closer to the snow. Moving forward, I've chosen good climbing Alpine shoes, well, what the hell, gloves. These are going to be my winter gloves, so again, all of that gear over there, all that will be held up with a friend of mine, and I'm going to ask her to ship it over to the beginning of Colorado before I hit the snow. So these goat leather gloves by Black Diamond, very, very warm, but I had to treat them with Nick Wax just to give them the waterproofing. So when you buy them, they're not waterproof, so you have to treat them with something to give them that waterproofing capability. Almost finished. I've got 3 pairs of winter socks, again from Try to Fly. They're really good, high quality merino socks, 3 pairs of them. So I have 3 pairs of the summer ones, just over there. And I'm changing again in Colorado with another 3, which are just for winter hiking, again with a liner. And knowing how I almost froze my ass off in Sierra Nevada in PCT 2017, because I was one of the few that crossed the Sierras with all that heavy snows back then. It was really cold. So I got myself a fleece that I'm going to be taking with me just for the snowy Colorado section, as I expect quite cold weather out there. Alright guys, so the vlog is something new, as I said. It's something that I haven't done before, so it's getting to know all the stuff that people do when vlogging, so I'm quite new in this. But the hike, it's not something that I haven't done before, so knowing the 2 hikes I did in 2017 and 2018, I've managed to build up a lot of knowledge and a lot of connections. And my AT hike was fully sponsored, as well as the CDT this year. So I just want to put out a few good mentions to some of my sponsors and explain that these are not just people who have come to me and said, hey, you know, like take those money and, you know, go and do that hike. I actually went to them and I asked for it, by obviously having that intentions to do that hike and the privilege to share that information with everybody who's interested in the outdoors community back home, because Bulgaria is really far away, and having to do such hike, it's a really big investment and it requires a lot of resources, a lot of time, and it's not something that everybody is willing to sacrifice for. However, that doesn't mean that certain people can do it. It's something that everybody can do it. As long as you put your mind to it, you can definitely achieve it. It doesn't really have to be 3,100 miles hike. It can be anything else that you like. But because I know that working together makes things happen, I've decided to partner with certain companies, foundations, and look for their social responsibility. So it's not just here's our product, advertise it, and you can have it. It's more about building relationship to create opportunities for people to get a taste of what it is to do that hike and get out there, experience it, see it, and find out what it is for a person to hike 3,100 miles. Can I really do it? Is it something that I like? So that's pretty much what we're trying to get out there. And the people that are supporting me are quite a few, actually. They've grown quite a bit this year. There's the foundation of Ruse, my hometown, and it's called Ruse, the Free Spirit Town. So they've given me a lot of support, and it's great to see that from my home community where I've grown and when I've grown up and where I've lived for most of my life. Then I have the municipality who also help out on that matter. I have the sponsorship of Base Camp. That's the outdoor shop in Bulgaria. So they helped me out with most of the gear last year and this year. I have Rule Bar. I have these guys. That's the Rule Bar guys. They help out with some food. They make some really nice bars out of dates, so they're very tasty and very good. But again, what I like about them is not only their bars, but they have the initiative called Superheroes. and it's about inspiring and motivating people by showing the examples of other ordinary people who do extraordinary stuff. Because before doing those hikes, I really had no experience. Maybe 10 days total on both hands, backpacking in my whole life. And then I jump on straight onto the PCT, which was 151 days of hiking. But yeah, there's great support from Sector. That's a company that really has nothing to do with hiking. It's to do with garage doors and industrial doors, but showing their social responsibility and supporting a project like mine to hike the CDT, it's a great thing to see, because they're not only focused on their own benefits and profits, they want to share it and they want to support the community they're currently growing in. I have the support of the Beard Brothers, Brada Brat, so they're also very outdoorsy and support me with their totally organic and non-chemical products, the beard balm, and well, the comb doesn't really go into that, but thank you, Beard Brothers. I love you guys. And am I missing somebody else? I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody else. I got the guys from proXtreme who will be editing and uploading the vlog in the channel, which is called proXtreme Adventures. You'll be seeing every single episode there. Post your comments in the language you speak. We'll get to you as soon as we can. Follow up, and if you have any questions, we're here. Subscribe. I really don't know what else to say. I guess I'll see you soon, guys. I'm starting on March 22nd with intentions to finish the hike in about just over 4 months. Well, my flight back to London is on the 8th of August. So 22nd of March to 8th of August. That's all I got. It's going to be fast. It's going to be immense. It's going to be dynamic. So follow the channel and you'll see all it is as it is: New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and the Canadian border. See you soon, guys. Moonshine.